Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the 4 pairs of earrings that I will be making. Most of the components came from the bargain bead box for the month of September 2023. And if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all of the information in the description box below, including my code. That code is Casey2. That's KASI2, and that will get you $2 off your first month subscription or $2 off your first order from their website. So if you would like to see how these earrings came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of round nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, and 1 set of industrial cutters. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set. And as the name suggests, these tools are so comfortable to use. They are very high quality and very well made. The biggest thing for me is their size. They're made just a little bit larger than typical jewelry tools. And for whatever reason, a lot of times jewelry making tools will be made a little bit smaller like this. And as you can see with the handles, they're a little bit larger as well. And I know these smaller tools function, but for me, ever since I found these tools, I just can't imagine using anything else. So I will have these tools linked down below and everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. So for each pair of earrings that I make today, I will have one already made and we will be making the other one together. So for this pair, I am using jewelry wire, and this is why I said industrial cutters. I also have another pair that's using memory wire. And it is always best practice when you're using thicker wire to have an industrial set of cutters, because if you use your regular jewelry cutters when you're cutting these thicker, stronger wires, it will mess them up and it will leave them not really able to cut the typical things that you would cut. So I will also have these industrial cutters linked down below. So here is the first pair of earrings that I will be making. And I will also link below the opening video I did for the bargain bead box, and it will have a detailed description of all of the beads that came from the bead box. So the first thing that I'm going to do is the wire wrapping for the go-go bead at the bottom. So here I have cut about 6 inches of this wire. I just cut part of a loop. This is way too much, but you'll be able to trim off what you don't use. So I'm simply going to put it through and somewhere in the middle, put this wire right like that, fold it up just like that. And I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers right about there, just above. And then I'm going to take this wire and bend it at a 90-degree angle, just above like that. Then I'm going to turn my round nose pliers and take the wire and bend it over with my fingers, just like that. Now I'm going to take out my pliers, put the bottom one in the loop, and then I'm going to start wrapping it around. And just wrap it around several times. Just like that. And because it's the wire, I'm going to go in with my industrial cutters as close as I can get and cut it. And where that nub is sticking out like that, I want to go in with my chain nose pliers and bend it in. Just like that, where it's tucked in, and when you run your hand over it, it's not going to catch. And I'm going to go back in with my round nose pliers and just kind of straighten everything up. Just like that. All right, so now that we have the wire wrap, we're going to make the top component. I have an eye pin, and we are using these flower-shaped bead caps. And we have a simple component here, and this time I want the loops to face opposite directions. So I'm going to hold it like this with that loop facing me, go in with my round nose pliers, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters. I'm going to go ahead and put on my ear wire, and then go in with my round nose pliers and curl that loop closed. So just like that. And now we're going to connect the two with a 4mm jump ring. We're going to take the jump ring, open it, connect it to the bottom, and connect it to the top, and close that jump ring. Here is our first pair. On to the next one. And here is the next pair we're making. So there are two different components. We're going to start by making the bottom one. I have a flathead pin, and I will use the 4-leaf bead cap, and we're using one of the lava beads that came in the box. And then on top, 4mm spacer bead. Go in with the round nose pliers, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers and curl it closed. Just like that. And now we're going to make the top component. We have an eye pin, simple back and forth with the faceted rounds and rondelles that came in the box. This time I want the loops to face the same direction. I go just over the top of that top bead, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and on the top I'm going to go ahead and put this connector that I'm using, and then I'm going to curl it closed with my round nose pliers. Just like that. And now we're going to connect them. So I open up the ear wire and connect it to the top of this connector and close it. And then I'm going to open the bottom of that eye pin just a smidge, put the component on the bottom, and close it right back. Here is the second pair. On to the next one. Here is the next pair that we're making. And I'll have this link down below, but this is one of my absolute favorite kind of charms, almost Celtic knots that I have ever purchased. I think this is so pretty. So we're going to start by making the 3 components across the bottom. I have a ball end pin, and for the larger bead I'm going to use one of the larger bead caps that I have, this flower bead cap. And I really love these porcelain beads that came in. This finish on them is just beautiful. So I am using one of the porcelain beads, the bead caps, one of the jasper beads, and a spacer bead. I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers just above that top bead, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers and fold that closed. Just like that. And the smaller components on either side are like this: ball end pin, 2 of the bicones from the bead box, and one of my spacer beads. Going with the round nose pliers, bend it back, going with the cutters, and then go in with the round nose pliers and curl it back closed. Just like that, and you need to make one more of these. All right, now that we have both, we're going to connect them to the main piece. For each one, we're going to use a 4mm jump ring, open it, and there are 3 sections across the bottom, 3 of the main circles, not where the circles intersect, but there's 3 across the bottom, and we're going to connect it to each one. So on the outside one, we're going to connect the smaller one, and close it. And you're going to connect the other 2 the same way, the big one in the middle and the other small one on the other side. All right, there we go. And now we're going to put on the ear wire. Open the bottom. And these are 2-sided, so it doesn't matter which way you put it on. And close it. Here is the third pair. On to the last one. And here is the last pair that I will be making, and I will be using the Jasper Tumble Nugget beads. One thing that I thought of when I made this is that it does look like it would be very heavy, and it's really not. Like these tumble beads, these Jasper beads are not very heavy. Here is what we will be making. So for this one, I used memory wire, so it definitely holds its shape. I'm going to hold it on its side, and on one side, you don't want to hold it straight up and down and curl it back. We need this one to be on its side. And I'm going to go in pretty small on my round nose pliers and go to the very end and curl it back. And so you have a loop just like that. And so now we have the loop on the side. We're gonna go every other one with a nugget bead and a 4mm spacer until we get 10 of the nugget beads on there. All right, so here we have it, all 10 of the nugget beads with a spacer in between. And on the other side, we are going to hold it straight up and down. And you're going to curl it just a little bit. And then before you close it, lock the other one on there and then finish rolling it closed. So just like this, and now we're going to create the component in the center. We have a ball and pin and a simple back and forth with 3 of the 6mm jasper beads and 2 of the 4mm spacers. And I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, and then go back in with my round nose pliers and curl that loop closed. Just like that. And now I'm going to use a 6mm jump ring, open it, and connect it in that center. And I just switched hands, and I'm adding that component in the center. And I'm going to close that jump ring, just like that. And I'm going to add that ear wire, open the bottom, connect it to that loop we made at the top, and close it back. And here's the last pair. I'm now going to set these up on my display so that we can see them better. All right, so here they are, and I am so happy with how they came out. That first pair, those hoop earrings, I just absolutely love how those nugget beads look. They just look polished, and I like that they are all different sizes and shapes, and I just think they are so pretty. And I love all the different colors of the jasper beads. They go so well together. And of course the other earrings, I love how they go so well together and they all came from the same box, but they all look so different. I think that's so fascinating. I love those lava beads. And of course the wire wrapped jasper go-go beads. And I knew when I opened those porcelain beads that I was definitely going to be using them in a project. So once again, if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all the information in the description box below. I highly encourage you to go check them out. And when you do, you want to use my code. That code is Casey2. And that code will get you $2 off your first order from their website or $2 off your first month subscription. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.